All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to wait a minute while some of you hop on. And as I've said in the comment, in the bio, we are talking negative thoughts, what you can do to support your negative thoughts, to increase those feelings of self-love and confidence, feelings of empowerment, helping you to stay focused, build those building blocks of self-esteem, self-worth. Okay, because it's important to feel like that. Okay, it's important to feel confident. It's important to feel as though you have self-esteem, self-worth. Okay, because when you do, then we start to filter out that which doesn't serve us physically, emotionally, spiritually, morally. Okay, I'm just going to add, while I wait for you all to hop on, say hello, let me know how your morning's going. If it's not morning where you are, let me know how your afternoon, evening's going. I'm going to pop my website in the comment for you so that you know where to catch me. It would help if I could spell today. There we are. Right. So I've seen a couple of posts, and obviously in all my coaching programs, from my mediumship and spirit guide 6-week coaching program, it was 4 weeks, it's now 6 weeks. The first thing I teach, and even my abundance money mindset courses, in any of my 60-minute coaching calls, even in my readings, what I talk about and support repeatedly is the negative chatter, okay, the limiting beliefs that we've been conditioned to think about ourselves and believe, okay, and rewriting those and supporting women to work through those, because they don't support our connection to spirit, because our connection to spirit is our intuition, okay, and when we're aligned with our intuition, it helps us to live a more joyful, abundant, easier life, okay, and when we're not doing that, that's when we tend to experience challenge after challenge after challenge. But not only that, we don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with those challenges. They feel overwhelming. I call them shitstorms. And we end up in a heap of depression that we're not sure how to get out of. We end up judging ourselves. We end up self-blaming, in repeated cycles of fear. And that's because fear and ego act like a blanket over our intuition. And all of that stems from conditioning, limiting beliefs, okay? And the thing is, a belief is a thought that you keep thinking until it becomes your truth. So until we work through those and pull up those roots and start to think about and develop new truths that become your new belief system, you start to have a fight with your intuition and your fear, okay? That's why with all my coaching calls, all my coaching programs, regardless of what you do, that's the first thing we work on, because if you're still fighting with your fear, it's going to be really difficult to connect with spirit. It's really difficult to have an abundant mindset and attract all that money that you want. Okay, couldn't catch my breath then. Okay, so anyway, I saw a post, a couple of posts I've actually seen, and the person has beautiful intentions who writes the post, and it's, what do you love about yourself? Because actually, we should all be able to say something that we love about ourselves, okay? Because self-love, self-care helps us strive for more. It helps us feel abundant, okay? It also helps build connection, okay? Joy, abundance, love does bind us. It helps build connection. As much as what pain does, love does as well, okay? Hello to whoever is watching. Let me know where you are in the comments. I cannot see comments at the moment, so I don't know what is going on. My page is playing up for some reason. And the person will post, what is it that you love about yourself? And 9 times out of 10, people that respond will go, I don't love nothing about myself. Nothing. I can't think of anything. Oh, I never love anything about myself. Okay. And morning, Tiffany. And there used to be a time actually when I would be one of those that, and we're talking about quite a few years ago now because of the mindset work that I've done with myself, where I would also think, actually, I can't think of a thing that I love about myself. And actually, even if I could think of something that I liked about myself or loved about myself, I would never admit it publicly because I didn't want people to think that I was vain or trying to seek attention or anything like that. Now I look at those posts and I think, well, actually, this is why we have such an issue. People aren't prepared to speak openly, put themselves in a vulnerable place, and acknowledge the good in themselves. Okay, we're very, very open at acknowledging the negative, and then actually that is why you're attracting so much negativity into your life, because you're openly acknowledging how shitty you feel about yourself and everything like that, and you're putting it out there, and then someone else is saying, oh, well, actually, yes, I feel shitty too. And then that adds to the momentum of how shitty you're feeling, and it builds and builds and builds. But nobody wants to go, well, I love this about myself, which attracts more good positive feelings and helps someone else to then actually acknowledge something good about themselves as well. Okay. And the thing is, as well, we've been led to believe as well, and this comes from conditioning, that I've got music playing in the background as well, if you're wondering what that is by saying that hi Susan, by saying that actually there's nothing about us at all that is good, positive, loving, or anything like that. There's a part of our subconscious that is doing that because we are seeking outside validation. We are seeking support. We are seeking someone to build us up. We want someone to, I'm going to say it, to pander to us. Okay. I remember I would used to take lots of sick days off of work, be in quite a depressed state because I wanted some love and attention. Okay. And when we're doing it in such a public way, there's something in that subconscious mind. Okay. It's because we want some validation. We are seeking that support, except we're going about it in the wrong way because we've been, so look at it like this. Somebody has their leg in a cast or their arm in a cast. That person gets a heck of a lot of attention. They get positive attention. They don't get any negative attention, do they? So as society has gone on, everybody seems to get attention for what is perceived as an illness. Okay? So then the last thing we're actually going to want to tell ourselves is that we're good, we're positive, we're lovable, we're confident, because somewhere in that subconscious is, oh, actually, I won't be wanted anymore. I won't be needed. I won't be loved. I won't be validated. I won't be supported anymore. If we suddenly start publicly saying, I am all of the above, we're worried that that validation will be taken away, when in actual fact, the opposite is true. Okay? And that's what we need to start telling ourselves. We need to start building ourselves up, okay? Instead of actually trying to seek validation from the opposite, okay? By saying that actually, I'm this, I'm that. I'm talking about negative words like, I'm bad, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, Okay, I made a mistake, which means I'm not good enough. You know, we all make mistakes, but actually they catapult us into alignment. Okay, we figure out what it is that we do want because we are making X, Y, and Z mistakes. Okay, I made a load. And if it wasn't for those mistakes, I wouldn't have figured out what it is that I do want in my life. So, and I'm sure I'll make many more. So, Heather, my lovely, tomorrow morning is when I'm doing individual angel cards, but today hopefully you'll get some guidance from this morning, because I'm talking about how to help those negative thoughts go around in your mind. So when you get a negative thought, and it can be anything, absolutely anything, okay, often we don't tend to do anything with negative thoughts. They just stay there. And don't you find that those negative thoughts end up having an argument with another negative thought in your mind? And it's like they're going at it, 10 to the dozen. Your negative thoughts are having an argument with another negative thought in your mind, and then it's building on each other. Okay? And that thought would have started off really small. But because you're then judging yourself and blaming yourself for having that negative thought, that thought has then built upon itself. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you can do with that. Okay, so whatever that negative thought is, okay, and actually put in the comments, okay, because I don't mind helping you individually. All right, give me an idea of what some negative thoughts that you've had recently are. Okay, and it can be absolutely anything. It can be to do with a relationship. It can be a negative thought to do with work. It can even be a negative thought to do with the kids. I know the kids are, like, at the moment, my source of negative thoughts, especially when they don't do as they're told the first time. And in my mind, I'm going, Trudy, calm down, calm down, calm down, breathe. You don't need to shout for the 10th time. So that, you know, there's things like that. Because the key here is actually, you cannot shut them off completely. You can't shut them off. Yes, we're human beings having a spiritual, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? But the key is to slow down your thoughts, slow down the negativity. It's not to switch it off completely, because we're having 60,000 thoughts a minute. So to cut off 60,000 thoughts a minute, give yourselves a break. You're not going to be able to just switch that off completely, okay? So there is no need to judge yourselves. Oh, thank you, Nicole, my lovely. So take whatever the negative thought is and firstly say to yourself, okay, am I actually doing myself a favor by firstly judging this thought, because it is only a thought, okay? And then say to yourself, okay, this thought is based on my perception of this experience at this present moment in time, okay? Susan, yes, I can relate to that. Okay, so let's take Susan's. Why am I always working when my kids are arguing? Okay, so I would take the arguing bit and the working bit. So it's like in your mind, you're almost saying to yourself, it's like the kids are like taking something away from you. You want to work, you want that time for you. And then they're suddenly arguing, which takes the time away from you. Okay, and I'd imagine that then builds up thoughts of not having you time, frustration, okay, possibly anger, okay, resentment, all right, negative thoughts like that. And the best thing I would actually do is say to yourself, these thoughts are understandable for how I feel right now. Okay, I would actually stop working, because the thing is, when we just try and shut our thoughts away and continue to keep doing what we're doing, okay? And we don't lean into the thoughts that we're having, okay? Because actually ignoring how we're feeling, ignoring any thought isn't going to help ease it, okay? That's the main thing I want to teach you all today, okay? So tip 1, don't ignore the thoughts that come up, okay? Don't ignore them. If you've got a negative thought, you need to just stop all momentum, okay? Because if you try and ignore it, it will actually build on the negative momentum, okay? Whatever that thought is, okay? So just stop, breathe. Like, the kids can wait. They're going to continue arguing, all right? Whether it's something to do with work. Work will continue to be there. Yes, it will. Money will continue to flow in. Believe me, it will. It's only because we've got a thought that it won't, all right? So whatever it is, just stop, breathe, say to yourself, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling right now? Okay? So with you, Susan, okay, yes, the kids are arguing. Kids will do that. Mine do it every day. They actually did it this morning and I shouted them yet again. Okay. But you might want to ask yourself, okay, was there a time when, because women especially, like, work equals independence. Was there ever a time in your childhood where you didn't feel as though you had control, where you didn't feel independent and you felt like you had that taken away from you? So in your subconscious is actually triggering those feelings within you. And that's where these negative thoughts are coming from. Okay. But what you want to do is actually, in that moment, if you can, feel the thought, okay, and then put an action to it so that you're able to process it through the physical body. Because tip number 2 is, when we don't take action on the negative thought and feeling, it then builds up in our physical body, okay? We create more negativity in our outside reality, okay, which we just then can continue to see the repeated cycles that we don't want again and again and again, like the kids continuing to argue when you want to work, or arguing with your partner over and over and over again because you have not stopped to think about why you feel the way you do, and then take action, like sit down calmly and have a rational communication with your partner about how you feel, okay, without possibly getting defensive. All right. I mean, there are so many different reasons why a negative thought is there, okay? I mean, I could be here all day going into the different reasons, okay? Loads and loads of different reasons for why negative thoughts are there, but they are all there because we are conditioned to think, okay, from a limited perspective and not from our intuition, okay, from fear. Oh, yeah. So you can actually, Susan, you can actually say, okay, seeing as they're young men, they should know bloody better. And actually, I say that to my 10-year-old. She's 10, so she should know better. So this is your time now, okay? Leave you to your space. Set that boundary, okay? When you give yourself the time to just take a breather, okay, reflect on why you feel the way you do, stop all momentum, okay? You're acknowledging how you feel, but you're also setting a boundary, okay? Not acknowledging how you feel is setting a boundary, all right? It's a self-love boundary. It needs doing, okay? Because otherwise you're just going to continue to create the same thing over and over again, which doesn't help you to feel good. And then it manifests physically in your body through severe headaches, stress, anxiety. I'm actually being told sickness, feelings of feeling sick, nausea, okay? That actually happens as well. Chest pain. That's all these type of physical ailments happen because we don't acknowledge the negative thoughts, okay? But we panic that acknowledging the negative thoughts is actually paying them more attention, but it's how you acknowledge them, okay? So just acknowledge them for a minute. Say, okay, I know that you're there. Now I need to understand why so that I can do something about it. Now, doing something about it, all right? These are my top tips for doing something about it. And please share this out because I know that it will help more people. Yes, it can be hard, but there are definitely ways around it, my love. Yeah, I've got a son that's autistic, and at the moment he's going through a lot of changes, which makes it even more like, ooh, frustrating. But keep that vision in mind, okay, that you can do it, that there are ways around it, okay? Build up a positive support network around yourself, okay? And actually, as you do these little tips to support yourself that I'm going to talk about now, it will help to build up that strength and resilience, because actually what makes it so much harder to try and run a business, try and work in whatever job that you're doing, then dealing with other things like children that have extra needs, regardless of the age that they are, okay, is if you don't have the physical energy to deal with it. This is why looking after you is so important, okay? Because it's like you've already stumbled before you've got off the first roadblock, as it were, okay? So acknowledge your thought. Number 1, stop everything you're doing, okay, is 2, okay, so that you're stopping all momentum. Number 3, journal absolutely everything out in terms of how you feel. If you cannot wait to do that, more the better. The sooner you can do it when you're actually in the feeling mode of how you feel, the better, okay? Do not put any thought into what you're writing. Don't censor what you're writing. Just, even if it's grabbing a scrap piece of paper from a kid's colouring book, okay? You write everything down, how you're feeling, because it needs to come out through the physical body, okay? So that it doesn't begin to manifest all those icky feelings in your body. It needs to come out, okay? And then read it back to yourself, and you will be surprised at what has come out, okay? Because the thing is, if you're not thinking about what it is that you're writing, when you're not putting thought into it, then you're giving spirit a chance and your intuition a chance to flow through you and out through your words as well. Okay, because when we're in a very relaxed state, when we're not thinking, when we're basically daydreaming, okay, and you'll find the more you begin to write, you will switch off and you will go into that mode, into that state. That's what will begin to happen, okay? As you read it back to yourself, you'll find that you may have had some divine downloads in there that can support you, okay? Plus it has the cathartic support and result of releasing all that tension that you've been holding in, okay? Journaling is so really, really, really important, okay? I've actually, in the next week, I will have a journaling freebie that will be going up on my website. I've got one freebie that's up now, and that's to do with procrastination and abundance. So you might want to go to my website and look that up. But I will have a journaling freebie coming soon in there. But definitely get everything written out. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, and if you have young children, you can do this with them as well, because it teaches them not only a grounding technique, but also if they're feeling angry, okay, or anxious, or actually they're feeling negative, but they can't actually pinpoint why. It helps them to release any emotion that they've got, okay? And you do it with them, okay? Because how many times have women especially been judged for, you know, being angry, feeling angry? Oh, but we're not allowed to show it. We have to keep it all bottled up. Men seem to be kind of paraded around as being strong and masculine and taking care of the family, you know, put on a pedestal for showing those stronger type of emotions of anger. But women, no, we're not quite, we're not allowed to show those type of emotions, are we, in anger? But this is where, anger is just a guidance tool. It is emotion like crying, like sadness, okay, like any other emotion. It's there to tell you something, how you're feeling, okay? So use it, okay? It's whether you use it in a healthy way or not. That's the only difference. It's how you process it, okay? So what I used to do was put on some music. The louder I could have it, the better, okay? Any music that suits you. And I would literally just dance, but dance not in a flowy, light, feminine way, but like dance in warrior mode. So get really, really physical. So like punch the air, you want to stamp your feet, you want to get really physical. If you've got kids, you can get them to do it as well, and actually they find it really fun. Okay, my 4-year-old loves to do this. Evie, Ed Sheeran. She likes to call herself Ed Sheeran. Susan. They've started morning pages where I scribble. Oh, I love that. Yes. I do that always end with gratitude because it helps to just balance up that energy so that the last thing that you're basically thinking about is everything that you're grateful for. And it really does work. So yeah, so tip 4, put that music on. And for those that actually were conditioned to believe that anger is a bad thing, if you're angry, you're a bad person, okay? Because you'll be surprised where that came from, or you may be, and how much you're keeping held within yourself because you're worried that even the slightest bit of anger will mean to your subconscious that you're a bad person. I have a client that actually she'll feel a slight bit of anger, like literally for a couple of seconds, and then it will go. Because it has been so conditioned out of her that if she's angry, she's not a nice person. So my tool for that, my tip for that is to get angry. Think of something really that really frustrates you, that really builds up that emotion within you, and then allow yourself to get angry. Punch cushion, stamp your feet, punch the air, okay? You are entitled to release all those feelings from however long ago out, okay? Because what's triggering you now, what's pissing you off now, is because of memories and conditioning and fear projections and fear thoughts that have built up over time, right from day dot, right from childhood, and they've built up into belief systems that you think you currently are until you begin to change them, okay? So work it out. And then after, just take note how you feel. My hair feels so wild today. I keep playing with it because I washed it this morning. I said to my other half, I said, I look like a lion. It's gone like huge mane. So just think about how you feel after, okay? You may even feel guilty. You may get thoughts that stem from childhood, like that you shouldn't have done that, okay? But just remember, you're an adult now. It's okay, okay? You can live by your own rules. State positive affirmations over to yourself, okay? And keep repeating them over and over and over again. Then do something really like the opposite, okay? So you've got your journaling, you've got your stomping everything out, getting really physical, okay? And then do something the complete opposite. Do something really calming, really nice, okay? For me, definitely liberating. Yeah, for me, it is going to bed with a book and a cup of tea. For me, I love that. That is my idea of fun. I'm pulling myself a few cards. That is my idea of fun. Definitely have to raise the vibe. But what I do want to end this on is raising your vibe, bringing in consistent abundance and money, okay? Because being spiritual, being a good person, and wanting money are not separate. They are all one, okay? Because spirit understand that money is tied to a feeling. It gives us more opportunity, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not going to go right into that today because that's not the aim of today's chat. But they are not, they're not separate. They are not exclusive. Okay. Where was I going? You can tell I don't have notes with me all the time. Oh, yes, Maeve. Oh, it definitely is. Hi, Kathy. So I was going to say something. I completely forgot what it was. Typical. That's lack of sleep for the last couple of days. The Stroud house for the last week has been absolutely manic, hence why I haven't been on as much. But I'm definitely looking forward to, as of next week, getting more active. I have a YouTube channel coming out for next week, which my coach has been helping me with, which is lovely. Now I remember what I was saying. Yeah, when we get into self-development, self-awareness, understanding the effects that our negative thoughts have on things, and then understanding how our positive thoughts affect things, emotions, feelings, things like that, a lot of people start to then panic about ever having a negative thought. And I just want to say, you don't need to panic about having a negative thought, okay? Or any thoughts that you have, it's your feelings, okay, that you want to focus on, how you feel, and working on how you feel, okay? And take your guidance, okay, and the action that you need to take from the way that you feel, okay? Because if you're always up in your head, you're just going to end up giving yourself so much more work, okay, when there doesn't need to be. So anyway, let's end on, because I have my new law of attraction cards here. Let's end on one card for the collective. Oh, Kathy, I will be doing, for now, on my YouTube channel, I'll be doing angel card guidance. So not individual ones like I do here and in the group, but just like a card for the collective every morning for now. So, and I'm going to see how that goes. Just get a feel for it. Because I did do YouTube, a long time ago. And it wasn't the right time and it didn't take off. But I feel like now's the right time. So I'm going to start with just doing angelic guidance, see where that goes. You panicked big time. Oh, why did you panic, Kathy, my lovely? So, yeah, something would have triggered it, my love. Right, so the card for the collective from my new law of attraction deck is: when following my bliss, I avoid foods that do not serve me. Oh dear. And there's me, I had a McDonald's breakfast this morning. Naughty me. Though I am on the water. So, as this is for the collective, this is for all of us. Me trying to not make myself feel too bad. It says, as you have a desire to be slender, but a belief that eating this food will make you fat. They are blunt, aren't they? You would feel negative emotion if you began to eat the food. And so if you are following your bliss, you would find yourself feeling good about eating the things that do harmonize with your beliefs, but bad about eating the things that do not. Once a desire has been established within you, it is not possible to offer behavior that you believe contradicts it without feeling negative emotion. Okay? And that goes for not just the food that we eat either. Okay. When you follow your bliss, okay, like I said before with negative emotion, when you think about how you feel instead of the thoughts that you're having, okay, just go by how you feel and follow your feelings as your guidance tool, okay, and then take action from that. You give yourself a lot less work to do, okay, and then you end up not being in a state of fear, because when you continuously overthink fear all the time, you don't actually end up going anywhere further forward, okay? And the thing is, time will continue to keep going, okay? The clock is continuing always to tick. Something I was working on didn't go and brought me back to the old thoughts I'm trying to leave behind. Kathy, my love, I'm wondering if it might be worth, I mean, I'm hoping that you've journaled on that, but I would actually, with you saying you're trying to leave old thoughts behind, I would actually go into those old thoughts. I would journal upon those old thoughts, okay? Because perhaps maybe there's still some work to do there, okay? It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing that there's still some work to do there, but maybe there's still some healing to do there, okay? And just some love that you need to give yourself in terms of healing with respect to those thoughts that you still have with regards to that, okay? Because the thing is, you deserve to bring yourself back to peace. You want to bring yourself back to a state of peace again. Okay, morning, Sue. So share that out so other people can hopefully get some tips with regards to supporting themselves with negative thoughts and increasing your self-love, okay? And the thing is, building our sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, which flows into increasing our abundance, okay? And abundance is not tied to just money. Can I just say that? Though I love money, and money's good because it helps in so many different areas, because it's a well-known fact. When we stress over things like money, it increases poor health, stress, anxiety levels. It increases stress in relationships, all sorts. That's how much we tie feelings to money. But abundance. Oh, thank you, Maeve. Yeah, Kathy, because right under my chest, darling, I'm getting quite a lot of achy pain in my chest area with you, love. Okay, so I feel like you need to go really easy on yourself today, okay? So yeah, abundance is tied to abundance of health, okay? Abundance in relationships, financial abundance, okay? Are you abundant in time, or are you always racing against the clock, okay? Abundance is in so many areas, okay? Abundance, did I say abundance in health? All sorts, okay? So have a think today. Your task for today, have a think. Where are you abundant? Okay, let's not think of lack, okay? Where are you abundant, okay? And just focus on the gratitude of where you are already abundant, okay? And then take some action on that, okay? Celebrate that. Celebrate that fact that you are abundant, okay? In those areas, all right? And then just know, because you've done that, more will flow to you, okay? Oh, thank you, Nicole. It's so nice to get your feedback, because it knows that I'm in alignment as well. And that's my abundance. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Good, Kathy, definitely. And I'm thinking, I know that card was for the collective, but I'm thinking, yeah, I'd imagine that's Sunny's kind of nod to me, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure, yeah, because I had a McDonald's breakfast, and I'm desperately trying to cut out certain foods, and this morning I did not. Never mind. Just keep trying. Oh my days. This is why I'm not a fitness coach. Oh, I'm good at other things. Telling people what foods not to eat, well, unless it's coming through in a reading, I can do. But giving them fitness, food tips is not my specialty. So yes, don't come to me for coaching with that. Anyway, my lovelies, I'm off into Angelic Soul spiritual coaching group now. So have a lovely day. And as I always say, because it seems to be my little catchphrase now, do something lovely for you. Okay, bye everybody.